I think Haley's probably out looking for me. I just had some stuff going on. Start off with just a great weekend for us. I think really proud of the way our team responded. Really proud of how we stepped up. We knew that we had to win some games. We knew that this weekend was just critical for us and our standings in the Pac-12, standings to possibly host. Just a lot. It meant a lot of different things, and to beat number 4 in the country on Friday, and defend them well. And then to turn around after that high, to turn around and bounce back on Sunday and beat another top 25 team, it says a lot. So really proud of the way we played this weekend. It wasn't always pretty, but we found a way to get the job done.
I already talked a lot about the seniors, but I want to talk about the freshmen. Paris and Maya seem to really kind of have a big impact on this game. What did you see in both of them?
You know, Paris has been playing really well. She's the one that's created her own opportunities. So I'd say a couple months ago, you know, in practice, like she wasn't as focused and as intentional about things. And I think the past month, I'd say the turning point for her was that Utah game at Utah. She's a lot more focused. She's more confident, and she's coming in and making plays. And whether it's hitting big shots or getting offensive rebounds or playing tenacious defense, she's really stepped up and done a really good job. And you know, for me, it's always hard because it's senior day, and you know, it wasn't Jade Lauren's best day. And those things are hard, but they've won so many games for us, and there's a reason why they start. So you know, that's not the way I wanted it to go exactly today. I know Jade only think played 12 minutes, and Lauren played 19. But you know, I just Paris stepped up, and we were kind of giving up some runs for a while, and that group I kind of went with. So, you know, Paris continues to play well. And Maya, she was solid inside. Her defense is improving. For her to be 3 for 6 and just, you know, not make silly fouls, and she's doing a better job of boxing out, I think she's just continuing to get better. And, you know, that's the future for us and players that we're going to really need next year because we're losing a lot of people in the backcourt.
Is there any extra motivation from the younger players playing for the seniors today?
I think younger players just play. I think because they don't really realize, they know it's senior night, but they don't understand the emotions. I think it takes years to kind of understand what that feels like. So I think they just play. I don't think there was extra emotion. I think there was just, you know, the want to win. And we know that we needed to win these games. And these are really big games for us to win because it could flip-flop us with Colorado. So they were ahead of us by 2 games. So, you know, we just knew we had to win. So I think that was the motivation.
The team playing the best they have all season, you think?
No, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say playing our best, but I would say defending better than we have. So the defensive work we put in is starting to show. I think we're peaking at the right time, and I think that individuals are getting better and more consistent. And I think all of this in this weekend is without Jade playing her best game. It's without certain people playing their best games. You know, one game it's Shayna, then it wasn't other people. So the good thing is different people are stepping up. So it would be scary if we have 3 or 4 people playing great at the same time. But this weekend, Shayna has been phenomenal. I mean, she's like 54 points, I think, over the weekend. That's really good. So she's really carried us this weekend.
Yeah, and I asked Shayna about the past 3 games.
Uh-huh.
She's had really good games. What do you think sparked that?
I think one thing that sparked, honestly, is her dad. I think she's a daddy's girl. He was her coach her whole life until she probably started to go with the Canadian team. And, you know, he hadn't been out here because of COVID and all those years. It was really hard to get from Canada, and the borders were closed. So it really meant a lot for her, for him to be here. It really meant a lot. And I think she played with a different sense of urgency. And, I mean, if she plays like that, he should be at every game from now on. He can travel with us on our plane. No, just kidding. That would be a violation, so no. But really meaningful. So I'm just happy because I could see the want for her. I was hoping it wouldn't flip and, you know, press too much. But she was very, very confident with him here. And I'm just happy for her because it's the last time he'll see her in college. I haven't seen her in like 3 years, so. That's why I actually made her call him down. I know they didn't want to come to bang the drum. So I thought that was a special moment for Shayna.
The team lost to both Colorado and Utah only 35 days ago. Is there anything you guys did differently this time around?
Was it only 35 days ago? Felt like it was like a week ago. Time flies when you're having fun, right? No, yeah, we had a tough weekend. I thought that Colorado game on Friday, the first game in the mountains, we played awful, and they manhandled us in every way. And then I thought on Sunday we played much better against Utah, but then we lost at the buzzer. So that was a really hard weekend just because we didn't get the results we wanted. Usually, I think in the past few years we had split up there. So this was definitely payback. And we know we wanted to play at home, and we know they're a good team, but we know we play really good at home. But I was curious to see how we'd respond after a really high on Friday and see how we would respond on Sunday. So I'm proud of us, and we were able to sustain that. And this is great momentum going into Oregon for next week. And it's a short week again.
What changed against Miller? She was so effective at the beginning, and then, she started having a little bit more difficulty.
Yeah. Well, she rebounded the heck out of the ball the first quarter. She had 6 rebounds. I thought that we just moved her. We tried to isolate her a little bit more to play defense, so we pounded the ball inside a little bit better in the second half. And I thought just moved her around the perimeter and attacked her a little bit more. So I don't know if that wore her down a little bit. And then they were in a little bit of foul trouble too. So I just thought we did a better job second half against her, and I think we were more intentional about boxing her out. That was one of the adjustments at halftime. Was she plays on the perimeter a lot, but she was crashing with intention in the first half, and she was successful at it. So we talked about limiting her touches, inside. So they did it, so which is good.
And Colorado started the fourth quarter on a 10-1 run.
Yeah.
You guys turned it around on a 12-5 run, I think, to close it out. Now, what are your thoughts on that, and your thoughts on rebounding from that and coming back from that?
Well, I think I was conscious of working in certain substitutions and lineups because I wanted to give people opportunities. I think that's how the softness in me sometimes. I really am intentional about those things, and I do feel a certain way about those things. So I really wanted to give Lamai an opportunity because there's some games where I can't. There's some games where it's so tight, it's a one-possession game, I can't play with lineups. So this game I tried to, but for a couple minutes we struggled for some moments for that. So then I kind of got okay, I got to put some starters back in. But as a coach, that's hard. I know it's senior day. I've been a player. I know what that feels like. I know that you want to go out on your senior day a certain way, and I get that. So I was okay with taking a little bit of hits at certain times of people because I was trying to let people get back into a rhythm, and it wasn't someone's night. I think that's the way basketball is, and there's a lot more basketball. So, I think that our seniors and upperclassmen will have hopefully a chance to play at home again. So.
Colorado only had 1 made three-pointer after having
Yeah.
7 three-pointers the last time. Is there anything the team did differently around the three-point line?
Well, we guarded the three-point line a lot better this weekend than we have probably the whole year. I think we lost Frida. We lost Foreman, I think, once in transition, and thankfully she was 0 for 7 because she usually makes a lot of those shots she missed. So the basketball gods were helping us for sure. But to hold them to 8%, that's definitely a season low for them, and to hold them to 42 points, another season low. So I think I attribute good defense, but also they missed some shots. I thought first half they got to the rim a lot, and they missed a lot of layups, and I thought they missed a lot of open shots they normally make, and those are shots they make at home. So I think it's flipped. They were making those shots at home, and we were making probably shots that we don't typically make here at home. And that's the way that it is in the Pac-12. It's hard to play, and that is a really hard place to play. Playing in the mountains is one of those trips you see on the schedule, and you're like, oh, darn. You hope it's the rotation where you don't have them twice. But, credit to them. They only lost 1 game at home. But we knew we wanted to make it hard, Mikhail. We had a great crowd. Everybody's here to support us. So we're the number 1 in attendance in the Pac-12. So I'm glad they showed out because it definitely helps us win games.
You mentioned that Helena is eligible for 1 more season.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you know that she has going on after school that might be another option for her?
Yeah, she'll graduate, so she can go play. She's Spanish, so she has Spanish passport. So in Europe, she plays as a community player, so she can go all throughout Europe and play as a domestic player, so she can make money. But I think that there's a strong possibility that she'll come back here, and especially if we worked in some NIL deals. So I definitely am putting that out there, because it's hard for foreign kids because they can't get the Pale Grand or FAFSA. They can't get that stuff, and so they miss out on opportunities to make money. So I think if we got her an opportunity, I think a bigger chance that she'll come back. So hopefully. Sorry.
And you kind of alluded to it already, but what does this weekend mean for your chances of hosting an NCAA tournament?
See, I don't know. I think we have to. I don't know because we're all so close. I think it depends on who wins, who loses, but UCLA, USC, us, Colorado are all very close. So I'm hoping that for us, we control our own destiny, so we need to win the next two games. Sorry. It's not COVID. It's a 2-year-old living with me. So definitely, but this helped us a lot. It helped our position a lot.
And you talking about the conference tournament?
Sorry, guys. Thank you. Thanks, Matt.
What are you talking about, the conference tournament or the NCAA tournament?
Both. So, well, yeah, they're both just as important. Well, because you want to buy the first game. So definitely playing for a bye and definitely playing to try to host. I think for us trying to host it would be huge. Last year wasn't the result we wanted, so I think both of those things. And I think just peaking at the right time, having momentum. I think going into 2 very winnable games. And the fact is, Oregon State and Oregon aren't playing their best basketball right now. So much rather go there, but they're both good. And we're going to be playing Oregon State on their senior day, so that's kind of hard because a lot of emotions those days. But I think those are 2 games that we can win. And I think then there's we looked at all these scenarios. It's like impossible to predict because we can win out. If someone else went out, there's all these ties, and then we had to look up how the ties are because we basically we're all split with the upper teams, the teams in the top 3. So I think it'll come down. It'll be very tight. I think it's going to come down to winning percentage and non-conference, probably. So, but for us, I'm more concerned with us playing better basketball right now, like peaking at the right time, getting momentum. I mean, if you looked at us the year we went to the Final Four, we were not great right now. We were okay. We were getting better. We were actually awful in the Pac-12 tournament. And then after that, we had a come to Jesus moment. We really had, we kind of imploded a little bit, and people don't know about that. Because this is the time when all the players, they're fatigued. It's been a long season. It's an uncertain time. There's midterms right now are coming up, and then they're stressed. They miss a lot of school. It's a really stressful time. So I think the difference is just who gets hot. And we had that moment. We were not good, and then we just turned around and we started playing out of our minds. So I think when I see this team, we had a lot of ups and downs. We didn't play great at home this year like we normally do. This is a team that's kind of unpredictable. One day we'll have a bad shoot around, and then we'll play awesome, and then we'll have an awesome shoot around, and we'll play crap. So it's just kind of who we are. So but I think we're getting more focused. Our focus is definitely narrowed and more consistent, and getting into more of a rhythm. So I feel like we're peaking when we should, which is good. Okay, well, thanks, you guys.